Hello conscious creators, Shamna Lea here from Goddess Creations, coming to you to speak about on part 9 of the Wheel of Life sequence, and it is part 3 and the final one concerning emotions. And today I would love to speak to you about managing your emotions. In the first episode I was speaking about allowing them and also the different types of emotions that there are. And then in the second one I was more talking about how to be vulnerable to allowing, let's say, and to be more vulnerable to your emotions. In this one I speak about managing your emotions, and that may sound very much in the head, and I will aim to speak from the womb space because we know a lot of things and we feel a lot of things, and I say we because I am, and you may recognize this, let's just say slightly a bit of a control freak because of how I have lived in the past, because of how I have been emotionally scarred in the past. And I'm not playing the victim here, but I do acknowledge that that is a pattern that has built up, how high I have got multiple sclerosis in my body due to me protecting myself from feeling, from disappointment, from pain. Now, I don't want to focus too much on myself, but hey, I just wanted to touch base with you so that you know where I'm coming from, and maybe you can recognize part of it for yourself. Today, I'm speaking about managing the emotions, and as I was preparing for this, I woke up one morning and what entered was a Bible text. I was raised Christian and not Christian at the moment, and yet I do respect all religions. But in the Bible text, that two Bible texts entered. The first one that entered was, I'm going to quote it, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that it is thy neighbor's." And that is from the 10 Commandments. It is the 10th and final commandment in the Bible, and it is from Exodus 20 verse 17. Why am I talking about this? I realize and recognize and felt as this Bible text entered my brain just as I woke up in the morning that to covet, what is that exactly? Well, I had to look it up, even though I knew what it meant, but I wanted to look it up. And it says to covet means exceeding reasonable limits. So to desire something or want something exceeding reasonable limits. Sure, okay, fine. But what does it really mean? Now, usually in Bible texts, it gets seen as a sin. You should not, or else you will be punished. And that is something that we don't really recognize for ourselves in the modern society. And yet, doing a bit more research into this word covet, I do recognize how it shows up in our daily lives, or how it can show up in our daily lives. And yet maybe shows up in all of our lives in some form to some degree. So when I'm talking about to covet, to desire beyond reason, beyond logic, beyond need, beyond what is necessary, I can come up with words like envy and jealousy, lust, greed, discontent, and I can just name them, but just to make it just that little bit more personal, let's talk about lust. Lust is a form of amicably or lovingly or desiring someone who is out of your reach. And so what happens is that you can focus on that person, and you can maybe create some super fantastic story in your mind, in your imagination about that person, which may not even be based on reality. That is a danger of that. And because you are creating this image of this person, or putting them on a pedestal, or making them the superhero of your life, or the savior of your desires, your needs, your health, whatever, you create this type of bond with that person, whether they know it or not. That bond is you actually pulling them into your awareness, your life, your energy field, and that might be against their will. But not only that, because you could be creating this desire that may be unfounded, desiring someone else's partner, desiring someone who is out of your reach, desiring a new job, not only just a new job, but like, well, I'll get to that in a moment, but when you desire someone, lust for someone in such a way, and you might even just be friends with that person, when you desire or lust for someone in such a way, in that coveting energy, you may show up and show parts of yourself that aren't in alignment with your true self. What am I talking about? In that over coveting, that unreasonable, excessive desire, wish for, longing, fantasy, hunger, give it a name, you can be angry at someone, let's say, just keep it simple, be angry at someone for not giving you the attention that you have already imagined that you deserve. True or false? You can be angry at someone or feeling resentful that you are not getting what it is you desire. And yet, is it yours to desire? Is it, there are so many ways to look at this. Another example. This is a personal one. I used to be a financial manager in a job, and I used to love my job. I used to have fun making that the numbers in the bookkeeping matched at the end of every month, and every let's just say every 2 weeks I was also doing the salary. I got deep pleasure from making sure that my colleagues, the company, they got their payments on time, and it was always precise, it was always right. I would work extra hours with pleasure. Now here's when the coveting started. The coveting showed up in me looking around at other colleagues who were maybe closer to management or whatever, and I would see that they would be getting raise, or they would be getting attention, or they would be getting a lease car or whatever. And what started to happen in my mind, because I was focusing on that which was outside of my area, that which was outside of my reach, my personal reality, I became discontented with that which I already had. So what happened is that, and this is personal, this is real, and you may recognize it, you may not recognize it, but I'm just giving you an example so you can touch on it. So what happened was that I was starting to get envious. I started to get unhappy about what I was doing. I thought, hey, there I am working these extra hours, and who is looking at me? And when am I going to get the validation, the raise, or whatever? Now, there are two sides to every coin. It could be that the employer was not the most attuned or employer, or was not the best person to be in that place to serve his team. Could be. But on the other side, there is also me, who was not happy with what I already had. And I was working well, and I was being paid well. And here it is, due to my envy, I got a blind spot. And I was looking over the fence to the grass on the other side, which happened to seem to be greener. And I forgot how well off I was. And because of that, I became unhappy. I became grumpier. I started to disconnect myself from my colleagues. My MS, the multiple sclerosis that I have, or is in my body somewhere, let's say, was showing up again. I became sick. These are effects of coveting. And in the end, I let go of the job, and I'm very happy having done so. But the point is that coveting, desiring, being envious, being jealous, is a sin. Why? Not because it's a sin, but because it makes you sick. It does not serve you. And let's be honest, I was earning more than other people in the company, yet I was becoming blind to that. See? So you get, when you are coveting, your view of life can get distorted. It can be that you then, if you want more and more and more, let's take it on a different angle, it could be that you could, or a person could, tend to stealing. It could be that you could want to destroy something. It could be that you manipulate all of these shadowy things, all of those things that are actually reflections of your own wound on the inside, can come up. And at the time you might feel that you're justified in whatever action or feeling that you have. And here is the thing. Take a pause and feel what your body is really saying. How is your body reacting to you letting these energies, these emotions that are not serving you, course through your body? These emotions that can lead to murder, to rape, to clinginess, neediness, a bad self-view, overeating. All of these come from the energy of coveting, wanting something too much, wanting something exceeding a reasonable limit. So that was me giving you an extensive example of how coveting can show up in your life. And the challenge is, how can we now release such energy? Because I'm talking about mine, or it can show up in a different way, but it can show up in many ways. And as I said, I mentioned a few here. And fear or overspending. I want a new dress. I need that new house. I need that new car. I need the next best thing. Always more and more and more. How you can change this, solve this, how I do that. And I must say, I have to be honest, I caught myself doing it the other day, coveting attention. And then I thought, but is this logical? Is this justifiable? No. And I went back inside and I said, hang on. What are you happy with? What are your blessings? Isn't life already gorgeous enough? Universe provides for me daily. If I send a wish out, I will get it in some form. Abundance is everywhere. Financially, love. It's there. You just have to see it and believe it and receive it. So, when it comes to allowing these emotions, the other emotions aside from the coveting, gratitude is a very strong motor. And I know, I've spoken about this in almost all my videos or many videos before, and yet it is key. Counting your blessings. You count your blessings. An old song just popped into my head. Count your blessings, name them one by one is how the song goes, and yet it is the truth. And yet, if you stand still every day, what chance encounters you've had, what a conversation you've had with someone, how the sun is shining, that you woke up this morning, that you have food, that you had a warm bed to lie in, that your payment is coming in, that you have served someone, that someone brought a smile to your face, or you brought someone a smile to their face. All of these things are blessings. But we have a tendency, our natural default is to not see this and lean towards the negative. And so therefore we are invited to focus on the blessings so that our vibe raises, we see the beauty in life, we experience joy and happiness. We see how fun it is to just follow all the synchronicities of life because you are counting your blessings, and when you count your blessings, you get more. I'm sorry, I sound like I'm preaching in a church. I guess it's a biblical version. But it is all connected to the emotions, and this is what my core thing is about, is that your emotions determine the health of your body. They determine the health in your life. Your cells listen to your body, to your words, to your programming. So teach them something else, as I've said before in various episodes, various videos of mine. Gratitude, joy, self-love, meditation, prayer. And prayer, meditation for me are very close, because in that stillness, in that internal conversation, you open up to the divine. And messages can come to you, inspirations, ideas. And here it is, when you are in that gratitude energy, you are more tending to follow the guidance, follow where the idea leads you. And it may not be what you expect, but it could be just you experiencing life in a different way, in a more fun way, in a more happy way, in a more joyous way, in a more abundant way, financially and with love or with health, So many blessings are out there. So, coming back to the coveting, where you may be wanting to have the better car, the larger holiday, the larger house, the new love, someone else's love, status, food. The challenge is to go within and see and be grateful for what it is that you already have. Be grateful for the blessings of life. And then there is the golden rule, and as I said, I guess it's a bit of a biblical episode today, but the golden rule, as it is said also in the Bible, in Luke 6 verse 31, it's not exactly as it said in the Bible, but the core of it is how it's quoted usually by man. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that one can make you pause, and that one can make you think, hang on a sec, would I want someone chasing after me? Would I want someone trying to get more money out of me? How would I like to be treated? And do that for the other, or in your next action on the outside, in your business. How would you like to be treated yourself? For myself, I'm not a fan of newsletters. My email list is full of them. I think I said that in my previous video. So I won't be sending a lot of emails, because that does not serve me. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And yet, life is good, and yet abundance is mine. So I'm going to just leave you with this, my dear conscious creators. Be happy with what you have. Enjoy life. Allow the abundance to come, and take the time to pause when you catch yourself in that coveting, in that negative, in that I want more and it's not good enough what I have. Pause. Can you breathe? Be thankful you can. Life is good. That's me for now. And I'm wishing you a blessed day. Shamna Lea, Goddess Creations. Bye.